Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel. So I have just been thinking a lot about me and my future and my business and how I want to grow my business and what I want to do in my business, and just preparing myself for what God showed me. Last night was just absolute confirmation that right now all I have to do is keep walking forward. you know I'm gonna meet people along the way. I'm gonna meet people along the way. That's just it. And I have to realize what those people, what their role is gonna be in my life. You know, because I've already seen my future. Like, I know the man that I'm supposed to marry. I know the business that I'm supposed to have. I know how to sell the business to the CEOs. I know how to do all these things. I just have to become the woman that God wants me to be. And that means saying the hard things, like saying no. Like, I realize that I just have this love inside of me, like this deep, genuine love. And the way I love people, you would think that I love you like that. But in actuality, like, I just love you. Like, that's how I love. Like, are you hungry? Do you want to eat? Are you thirsty? Do you need your feet rubbed? Like, are you, like, you okay? Like, I love like that. But when I was given the opportunity to love the man that I love like that, I did the complete opposite. I became really closed off, shut down. I didn't tell him anything that I was feeling. I always just let him think whatever he wanted to think about me. You know, tried to become any woman that I thought that he wanted me to be. You know, and that's not what God wanted for me in this life. You know, what I'm supposed to do is so much bigger than me, and he needed me alone, knowing that I loved a man. Like, I really, really, really love this man with all my heart. I just didn't know how to show it. I didn't know how to tell him that without feeling like he's someone from, like, that from my childhood that molested me or touched me or anything. Like, I loved all those men in a way, like, in a weird, sick, twisted way. Like, I loved all those men because they were my family. And it was just very eye-opening for me, to realize that every man that I've ever had any long-standing sexual relationship with, they reminded me of a man that molested or raped me when I was a child. And I swore I would never talk about this man in my video because I didn't want him to think that I liked him or cared about him in any way, but I did. I did, in a weird, twisted way. There was this guy, Omar. He touched me when I was, like, the youngest. I was like a fucking baby, had on diapers still. And then there was this guy, Michael, and I couldn't figure out what made me, like, I hated him in a way. Like, there was something about this man that truly disgusted me. And I kept him around for a very long time, and he wasn't the only one. Like, it was a lot of men like this that I kept around because being around them made me feel like I was healing something in myself. Like, if I could just take what they're giving me, even if it's love, sex, if I could just get through it, then maybe, just maybe, I might be healed. And this dude, Michael, man, he was a good guy. Like, anything that I have to do with my business right now, like, he definitely just inspired me to just go full throttle at it, But in all that good that he had in him, there was dark and I was attracted to the dark. It wasn't the light, because I didn't even know he had light until he was in my home and, you know, like investing in my business and stuff like that. But like, this man, we had a trauma bond. And as my sister would say, like, my demons played well with his demons. So there was this time and we were just like arguing about I don't know what. And I ended up calling him a bitch. And I know he hates that word. But the worst part is I knew why he hated that word. Because just getting to know him, you know, outside of just hitting him up when I need some. But like, I really got to know him. And he cried in my arms. He cried and he cried and he cried. And I called him a bitch, right? Because I know that he was molested by his father when he was a child. And it made him so emotional. And what I perceived as emotions and weakness were just real emotions of a man that was hurt. But in this mindset that I was in back then, I couldn't see a man being hurt or vulnerable. And everything this man did scared the living shit out of me. Like, there was this time we were arguing, and I had Elijah in my arm. Elijah was just a little baby. And I had Elijah in my arm, and he just shut me in the room door. Like, he just shut the door, and he said that I couldn't leave this room until I talked to him. I freaked the fuck out, like inside, like I was screaming, not outside, and I was attacking him, and I was about to jump out of the window with the baby. And then there was a time when we were in the kitchen, and I was just arguing with him, like, you are a bitch, you know? And then he gets up, and I have to realize now that I did that because a part of me wanted to die. Like, but I didn't want to die at my hands, because then, you know, I killed myself. I took myself from my children, so I was fighting for my children and wanting to die at the same time. So he chokes me. Like, he literally picks me up and he just chokes the living shit out of me. And he's squeezing and he's squeezing and he's squeezing. And I want to give up. I want to give up. Everything in me wanted to give up at that moment, but I couldn't. I couldn't, because Elijah was crawling around the floor, and he was just right there, you know? So I pick up this glass jar. I don't have the glass jar with me, but it was like this glass jar. And I just hit him in the head right here. And he still wouldn't let me go. He's just still choking me. And then, like, I just feel myself just, like, dimming away, just, like, fading away. And then, like, he drops me on the floor, right? And I couldn't walk because I was so discombobulated from just, like, being choked to death, essentially. So I just was crawling. I'm crawling down the hallway, trying to get away from him. And as I'm doing this, like, he's following me. And Elijah's right next to me as he's following me, and I'm so scared. I'm so scared that I just try to lock myself in my room. Then he ends up leaving. Then he comes back later that night, and he comes back with flowers. And you know what I did? I forgave him. Not because I loved him, but for the first time in my life, I felt like someone hurt me, but I liked it because I got flowers in the end. So the pain and what I went through was worth it. You know, like, I still have him. He didn't leave. He came back. He came back with flowers. So that must mean he really loves me, right? And then it was just like, after all this stuff, like, I'm the type of person where I can't let it go. You know, so I was always bringing it up. Like, he'd be saying something stupid. I'm like, what are you going to do? Come choke me to death? You know, just little jokes like that. And just realizing, like, this is what I was doing and this is what I wanted. Like, I wanted to hurt him how that guy hurt me as a child. Because I couldn't ever distinguish the difference between men. It was like, you look like him, kind of. You talk like him. You touch me how he touched me. So I must like you, because it's the only way it made sense in my mind to be around that. You know, I thought that was healing in a way. And it wasn't. That was the complete opposite. Like how it made me feel to lay down with this man, have him touch me, made me uncomfortable. It made me hate myself. It made me want God. Like after that relationship, I believe that I had to find God. But that wasn't even like, trauma's real. I have a lot of things in me that God's trying to get out of me. And just saying the word is powerful. There will be a number 2 to this video. Like I have to watch it and just hear myself say this out loud. Hear myself say that the last man that I dealt with and before this was the first man that ever touched me. So I don't know. I kind of got like teary-eyed. It just made me really sad because like I did not know. I did not know that I even thought like that. I didn't even know that I was doing that to myself. Like the feeling of like healing my child but hurting me, you know, like, man, that's why I hated myself, I believe, man, because I thought all of those things were love. Man, anybody that genuinely really loved me, it scared me because I never could distinguish the two. I never could separate the fact that that's not love. That wasn't love. And what is love? This, what I have with God, this is love. That wasn't love. That was control, fear, anxiety. I just wanted to heal. But I know now, you know, like that was God's way of getting me here. Because when I realized that, like, it just took a lot out of me, you know? It took a lot out of me. It kind of made me want to give up on my business, but I had this business before I met this man. And I remember my friend Lindsay, and we used to talk about this, and we used to write in our notes, and she used to just tell me, like, when I was with him, she knew I was with him, so she just told me, like, this is your business. That's yours. This is yours. That's yours. That woman taught me how to say no. Like, literally, if I'm looking back, like, I would have never been able to leave this man if I didn't have her encouraging words, telling me that I'm worthy of something, that I'm bigger than something, that what I'm doing means something, you know, just everything is all coming out. What's done in the dark comes to the light. I get that now. Do I understand that fully? No. But I know right now, this point in my life, I've already seen my future, so all I have to do is just walk towards it. Say what he wants me to say, and despite of how it makes me feel, this video makes me it made me uncomfortable. But I'm free. I'd rather be uncomfortable with some stuff that I didn't know than continue to just be uncomfortable with it. You know, like just that mindset of like, I really didn't know, but now that I do know, that's what I mean. Like, I just know too much now. I've felt too much. I've seen too much. I've done too much. And I can't wait to see the woman I become. I can't wait. A moment of silence, and we're starting now. Bye guys, until my next video.